What's up, YouTube? Making this little video about the Denon Prime Go, the small all-in-one standalone console, you can call it, and my opinions on some things. How do I like it? How do I feel? So let's get into it. First of all, this is the box it comes in. Okay, that's what it looks like, the box. Pretty small box. It doesn't really come with much in it, just the controller and the power cable for it. And so let's get into this. So this is the unit itself. As you can see, it's pretty light, heavier than some controllers because you don't need a laptop for this. This is self-contained. You can put a hard drive, connect a thumb drive, or you can use a hard drive too. I don't know the limit of how much space. You can also have music in an SD card if you want over here. You can save your settings to the controller. So once you put in, let's say somebody else that uses Denon engine software, they want to play on this controller, they can put their SD card or their hard drive or a thumb drive into here, and the settings will be there automatically. That's one thing that I do like. So you don't have to change the settings around. It'll automatically load those settings. And like I said, you need no laptop for this. This thing, I mean, you play all your music on the little screen. You'll see all your playlists loaded to side A, side B, or left or right, whatever you want to call it. This thing, what do I think about it? For me, I like it very much because it saves my back. This thing is super light. I don't need to carry a big, heavy controller for small gigs. Something where it's a big system like this is not needed, or my Prime 4, which I love, but it is heavy. It is heavy, and I have it in a Pro X case with the power conditioner under it. Wireless mic is all inside the case, so it's a pretty heavy case. But like I said, it does everything. It's a 4-channel mixer, the Prime 4 is. But I don't need that in every gig that I do. I have some small gigs that I can bring this, and this does the job fine. I mean, it's not for somebody, if you're going to go crazy on the turntable. It's not for like doing crazy mixing and scratching. The jog wheels, they're tiny. You know, these are like, I don't know, maybe 4 inches in diameter, around there. The tempo, the slider, it's a good size. It's good enough. I would have liked it a little bit bigger, but they're fine. The buttons feel good. I don't really like the Q buttons here. They kind of, you have to really press them. So if you press them kind of light, you can miss your cue point and not press it when you're supposed to, or when you wanted to. But yeah, that's one thing that I didn't like, is the cue buttons. I don't really like them. I think they could have gone with something a little bit better, more like the Pioneer, like the S11 and some of their other mixers and controllers that have the nice pads. But so now let's talk about the Wi-Fi. This thing has Wi-Fi, built-in Wi-Fi. So let's say you're outdoors playing somewhere, you can put your phone's hotspot on, it'll connect. I've done it a few times already. It works perfect. And the reason you would want that, let's say you have Beat Source, Beatport, SoundCloud. You can, if you have the paid Dropbox, you can connect to your Dropbox and have your music in the cloud and just pull it up, anything you need. You can look at different files and just, if you don't feel like carrying a hard drive, you can do it that way too. Or a thumb drive. Let's say you forgot something and you have it on your SoundCloud, you can just pull it that way. I mean, not SoundCloud, Dropbox. Dropbox. So that is very nice. Another thing too is if you're doing a short gig, just for let's say 2 hours, somewhere outside, you don't need to plug this thing in. This has a built-in battery that will last, they say, up to 4 hours. I haven't tried it for 4 hours continuously, using it for 4 hours, but I've seen other videos where they say that it does last 4 hours. And that's with the Wi-Fi on and normal use. I have the brightness on medium, and so far it's done fine for me. I think the most I've done unplugged is 2.5 hours, and I still have plenty of battery left. So I think it would last the 4 hours. What else can I tell you about this? So you have two mics, combo jacks. So if your cables are a 1/4 inch or you use XLRs, you won't have any problem. You don't have to get adapters or anything because it takes both. You have your Ethernet link input here, your USB to hook up to a computer. And this thing does run, so far as I know, only virtual DJ, which I'm hoping that they do Serato. I like Serato better, but that's just my opinion. It isn't that virtual DJ is not good or Serato's better. It's just that's my personal preference. So then they have an aux input. Here you have your booth outs that are 1/4 inch. A lot of mixers or controllers, that's what they have for your booth. They have a 1/4 inch, and then you have XLR outputs, and you have RCA, unbalanced RCA outputs. So yeah, you have your power button here, on and off. Oops, I forgot. You see, turn it on, and it's just it's battery powered. You have a little lanyard here, almost like for your power cable, so you don't accidentally pull it. I don't see why. I mean, this thing is battery powered, so it's not like the music's going to stop. Let's see here. So we talked about that. Now the sound quality, I have to talk about that because there's some controllers that are small units like this, but they don't have the same sound quality as this small unit. And no exaggeration, the sound that comes out of this is almost exactly as my Prime 4. And I've tried them, I've compared them side by side. I've hooked it up to the little mixing board there to see, and have them both at the same level, and it's very similar quality. I mean, it's really, really good sound that comes out of it. What don't I like about it? I'm going to show you here. So, if you look at it, you see these two lights going up. These are the level meters here. But this is only for the main. It looks like it would be for each channel separate, but no. This is only when you turn it up, you turn up your master, it shows you. That's only for the master. It's not one for the right or one for the left, that you can balance your outputs here and make them equal before you play it out. So in a way, you have to kind of guess or remember that this song, let's say this song is playing, it's louder, this one is a little lower. So you would have to, I leave myself a little room so I can turn it up, or then I have to play around with the gains, turn it up to match up the song that I'm playing. And it's not that it's impossible to do, but it's just inconvenience if you have to do that, when most modern mixers have a level meter for each side or each channel. That way you know how high that song is going to come in or how low. It helps you a lot. That's one thing that I think they lacked in this little controller. And another thing too that I don't really like, but it's not a major problem. I don't like it, but I can live with it. I have a tilting stand that I have to put it on. Because this screen is flat. This screen will not move at all. The Prime 4, you can tilt it to your perfect viewing angle. This, no. So if you have it flat on a table, you're looking at it this way. So I bought a tilting stand that I can have it like this because I can see it better, and you're not going over it like this. That's one thing that I don't like. Another thing I didn't like is the jog wheels. I like to scratch and, drop a song like that, and this, you can get used to it, but it's still not very smooth. They're good for nudging. For that, they're good. If you're mixing and you want to nudge it backwards or forward a little bit, it's good. But you also have the pitch bend here. That I've gotten used to this a little bit with the Prime 4. I use it sometimes too. But is it worth the money? Definitely it is. In my opinion, it is worth the money. Some people say, oh, I would never pay $1,000 for a small little thing like this. But this is not a toy. And I'm not going to badmouth any of the small controllers that are portable, but they're not like this. They don't do what this thing does. For the price that you pay, this professional sound that comes out of it, and what it can do with no laptop. That's the big thing is you don't need to carry a laptop. You can have it as a backup if you need. Always have a backup. But you can play a whole event just using this with no laptop. You can stream music, and it's not like you're playing it from your phone. I mean, don't get it wrong. I'm not saying it's like connecting a phone with a headphone jack into your aux. That's not streaming. I mean streaming, which you will see the song load on a deck and you can manipulate the song the way you want. You can mix it in, you can scratch it, you can put effects on it, you can do whatever you want. That's a whole different thing than just playing the song off of SoundCloud or YouTube or whatever. It's totally different. This is when you're streaming, you have a streaming service, a paid streaming service. You can load the song just as if you had it, the file right inside the unit or on your computer. So let's just get that clear. It's not the same thing as, oh yeah, I can do that with my phone. No, it's different. It's like if you had the song right there. Everything you could do is just like if you had it there. You're loading the song onto the deck from, like I said, Dropbox, SoundCloud, Beatport, BeatSource, and there's another one that I'm forgetting about. But yeah, that's something that you can do. So all around, yes, I think it's worth it. That's why I bought it. But the main reason why I bought this thing is because it's a back saver. I carry this in no case, not a hard case. I'll show you the case that not the case, the bag that I bought for it. So that little controller fits right inside this case, perfect, and I have a little bit of room for the cable, the hard drive. I can put it inside this outer sleeve. Perfect. This only cost me about, I think it was like $60. As if you buy the case for it that's specially made for it, you're going to end up paying like $200 for it, or a bag for like $140. It's basically the same thing, same amount of protection. Now, if you get a hard case, you're going to pay a lot more money for it. Not only that, you're going to make it heavier. You're going to be carrying a hard case. So that's why I bought the bag, because the whole point of me buying this Prime Go, the Denon Prime Go, was because of the size and the weight. It's ultra portable, but not only that, it does so much. I mean, there's really not much that you can't do besides Scratching, obviously, you're not going to go crazy and do a whole mix show on this thing. It's not made for that. It's made for DJs that just want to play a gig. You can do good mixing on it uh, with sync or without sync. It doesn't matter. If you know how to mix, you know how to mix. I use sync sometimes because not all the time I have a monitor nearby that I can. Sometimes the speakers are far away. I need to use sync, or I use the headphones. That's another thing it does have. It doesn't have split Q. I forgot to tell you about that. So it doesn't have split Q, but you can cue the master and balance it where you can hear some of the master and you can hear the cue and you can get it just right the way you want. So you play around with this and get it at the right level, how much cue and how much master you're hearing, and it's like if you have a monitor. So that's another thing that's good about it. And but yeah, I highly recommend this thing for somebody that just wants a portable unit that sounds good, professional quality audio, and it's packed with features. And the build quality, in my opinion, is very good. It's not, doesn't feel plasticky light like a little toy. It has a good weight to it, not heavy. I've been carrying it for a while. You've seen this video already, and it's good quality. It feels sturdy. The thing is great. I like it very much, and those are my opinions on it. And if you're thinking, well, what does DJ Cisco know? Well, I'll give you a little history. I've been DJing for over 30 years. I've gone from vinyl to CDs to DVS to controllers. So I've tried so many different types of equipment. So yes, I do know a little bit about it. And that's my opinion on it. The Prime Go, the Denon Prime Go, is a solid unit. I like it very much. I have very little complaints, but for $1,000 you can't get everything. But the features that it does have are very, very important. Are features that you would like to have, unless you need to have like the moving platters. Like I said, that's excellent. I like that stuff too. But that's not the reason why I bought that controller. If I want to do a mix show, this is what I bring. Two Technics 1200s, a Pioneer PLX 1000s, a good mixer either from Rain or Pioneer. There's other brands too, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. That little controller is not for that. It's if you want to do a nice, easy gig where you're not going to have to do like very heavy mixing and tricks and stuff, it's perfect. And that's my opinion on it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you disagree or agree, let me know in the comments, because I'm open to hear other people's opinions, and I listen, and I respect everybody's opinion, but that's mine. And I hope you liked the video. And if you're thinking about buying that unit, it's good. It's great. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Wait a minute. One thing I didn't like, and I still don't like, is the Engine software. I mean, you have to run all your music through Engine, analyze it, and then export it. I wish there was an easier way. You don't have to necessarily, but if you want your music already analyzed and loads just like that, doesn't have to analyze it. I mean, you can put a hard drive in there that without music that's analyzed already, but it takes longer to load. That's the only drawback, and I think a lot of people don't like the Engine software. It's getting better. They always do updates, but it still isn't completely there. I don't know what it is, but it's just not there yet. I hope they improve their software, because that's the only thing that's kind of holding Denon back, is that software. They need to put a little more focus on the software. Other than that, I love their equipment, and they're giving a lot of other companies competition. I think a lot of DJs don't want to admit it because they're so hooked on Pioneer products. And I love Pioneer. Pioneer makes great products. Their CDJs, the 900 mix, the DJM 900s. I mean, the 850s, the V10, incredible. But yeah, Denon is up there though. All right, so I'm not a hater on the. Denon has been around for a long time. Let's remember the Denon was in a lot of nightclubs before the CDJs came out. Yeah, if you remember, they were there. But anyway, enough talking. That's my opinion on the Denon Prime Go and a few other things too. I hope you enjoyed the video, okay? Bye-bye. Have a good day.